Hello, everyone, and welcome to our The Last of Us Rewatch podcast. I am Phil.
I'm Jeff.
As always, mentioning it up at the front now, spoilers for this episode, all of the episodes, and for me, up to this point in the game, in the first game.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say spoilers for all of episode 1, and you should feel comfortable spoiling everything in the first game. You don't, you don't think that's
Well,
like,
I mean, like, I think I would feel comfortable, but like, I think I will talk to those parts of the game when those parts of the episodes come up. So,
you're not
uh,
just going to randomly be like, well,
yeah,
then later on this happens.
yeah, probably not. But I mean, I'm glad the door is open.
It's always open. Spoil away as long as it's not for the second game. This episode is episode 6. It's called Kin.
And
Kin. Before the show, I said to you, does kin have a double meaning here? Like, we all know that kin means like family, right? But are they using it in a different way? And we spent a long time trying to figure it out. No, we didn't spend a long time trying to
yeah,
figure it out. But there's no, like, I don't think kin has a double meaning anyway, right? There's no other meaning for the name, for the word kin.
as far as I know.
Now,
But
if they, in the movie sequence, there's a scene where they go to the movies, which is amazing. If they had watched Kindergarten Cop, would that have qualified?
maybe. But there is a movie called Kin, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I want to say it's Patrick Swayze and
Oh, I wasn't even thinking Patrick. This is like I'm thinking of a movie that's like more recent because Patrick Swayze is
oh,
currently dead.
yeah, R.I.P. Is there a movie called Kin? Let's
I
see,
think like
movie
I want to say it's like
Kin.
a
Oh, yeah, it's like a
like a sci-fi
space
movie. Like there's
age.
a robot dog. Is there a robot dog?
I'm looking at a very sci-fi cover with very neon letters and a very cast I don't get. Oh wait, James Franco, Dennis Quaid, you know them, Zoe Kravitz, Michael Jordan,
The
Michael
basketball
B.
player?
Jordan. No, Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, all
And
right.
he and I are friends though, so I keep it casual. I don't say everything. Okay. So what's interesting about this show or this episode is that they do the previously on. Do you watch the previously on every time?
Not every time.
All right. This time it goes from the previously on, goes to the opening credits, and then it goes to a scene where we get to see that terrible death from the last episode
Oh,
of Henry confused and scared and shooting himself. Almost as if to say, like, hey, did you skip the previously on? Because we want you to start this episode in a bad way. Like, we want you in a dark place for this journey we're about to go on.
yeah. So it would have like if I hadn't been watching the episodes so close together, it would be appreciated to have that up front because maybe I forgot that
Sure.
Henry shot himself in the head.
I feel like, yeah, like for sure, like watching it live, I'd be like, time for Last of Us. Can't wait to watch Last of Us. And then sit down and be like, oh, right.
Yeah, that's a
Poor
bummer.
Henry. Anyway, so
R.I.P.
they force you. They're like, here's a little forced previously on for you. Uh, and I can't decide why they did it because they do move on after that. They're like, they don't reference it. Did they reference it again? I don't know. Well, as we unpack this, we'll find out. So Joel and Ellie are in frozen country. We see snow. We actually don't see them,
Yes.
but we see a trapper coming back with rabbits. He comes into his hut, and Joel is already inside. He's in there. He's got the trapper's wife being held hostage, and what follows is the most gruesome scene ever. No, it's the most wonderful scene
The,
ever.
the trapper's wife, who is held hostage, is like the most cooperative, like easygoing hostage ever. She's just sitting
Best
in her
hostage
chair.
ever. She's like, the trapper's like, did you make him soup? Or what? Um, yeah, it's a very strange, like, people squaring off. It's like, Joel's like, this isn't, he doesn't say this, but it's almost as if he's saying, like, this isn't how you're supposed to do it. And no one is on board with how they're supposed to do it. Like, they call out that there's a girl hiding, and they, you know, he's like, tell me on the map where it is, and if your answer is different than your wife's, then I'll know and I'll kill you or whatever. And the trapper asks his wife, did you lie? And she's like, no. So
My
everyone's,
favorite though, so it's like he asks, "Did you lie to him?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Are you lying to me?"
right. Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, "No."
The two of them almost have an attitude of like, we've been here forever, we didn't do anything wrong, so like we just know,
Yeah.
we know how this goes, and this isn't gonna be the end of us. There's an exchange where um the fireflies are brought up, and the wife says, oh, we have fireflies here, they come out in the summer, and Ellie says, not the bugs, the people. And the woman says, there are firefly people, like, she's like, it's very funny. And would that be so weird in this world to have firefly people?
I
Like,
mean, probably a little bit, right? Like,
I mean,
it's not the world of the Fly, where there are human insect hybrids. It's like, I mean, like there are human fungus people. That's
yeah,
completely different.
it's not. I mean, yes, it's completely different, but it's not any less, more or less weird. All right, so the big takeaway from this is the trapper gives them directions to where they're going because they are lost. They ask, you know, where they should go, but he marks out a river and says, "Don't go here. It's the river of death. Anyone that goes there doesn't come back, or they see whatever." But it's the river of death, and so that's the important thing. It's marked there. They leave. Ellie snatches some rabbits on her way, and Joel is showing signs of sickness. Like,
Yes.
he's dizzy. He has to pause. Does this happen in the game? And has this happened in the show and I just didn't notice?
So, it doesn't happen in the game. This might be the first instance of Joel's panic attacks, like, because he like I think maybe like because it is. I think the show says it's like 3 months later, 3 months
Is
after
that right?
Henry. I believe so.
Okay.
I think it's that like after the Henry and Sam incident in Kansas City, whichever state.
And
Um,
that Henry flashback that started the show would be important towards Joel's emotional state. So showing
yeah,
that is why yeah. But go on. So it's 3 months later.
but yeah, like he's had time to like now like be kind of more bonded to Ellie now.
Sure.
We don't see a lot of that. I mean, we see the kind of the beginnings of it in Kansas City or in those episodes. Um, but now like, and I think he like Pedro Pascal does it like has a great scene. Like I think somewhere in the middle with Tommy, um, where he talks about it. So like, um, he's not in good shape right now. Like he probably physically great, but like in the mentally, he probably needs a therapist.
I mean, sure. I didn't clock it as anxiety at first. Like, I was like, oh, does he have a heart condition that I just haven't been sensing? Or like, is he just getting old? It could be a little of that, but I think you're right. By the end of the episode, we know Joel is overwhelmed with the responsibility that comes with, you know, ushering the cure to
Yeah.
its final destination, um, and just staying alive in a world that wants to kill you. Okay, so we get a little more bonding. They camp. Ellie wants some booze and gets some, and she registers it as still gross.
Still gross.
Still gross. And in this scene, they discuss long-term plans, what they want to do after
Yeah. It's
their
interesting
mission's
that like
complete.
this conversation comes up because like we were kind of talking about it last episode with Kathleen and like how like after the revolution like now what now
Yeah,
it's kind of like Joel and Ellie's turn like after the cure now what.
yeah. What's your mission? Yeah, what are you gonna do? What else would you do? You'd retire and raise sheep, is what Joel says. And Ellie, not to never want to lose a a match in this conversation with Joel, says, I want to go to space. She doesn't actually say those words, but she's like, Yeah, space. It looks great. Um, so they decide to go to sleep, and Ellie says, "Do you want first or second watch?" And Joel says,
Both.
"Take both." And I'm like, "What?" It becomes clear in the next scene. Part of it is that he's the kind of overprotective micromanager where he needs to do it to
Yeah,
make sure it gets done, and he doesn't trust Ellie to do it.
yeah. So it's interesting because I had thought about this. It was I think it might have been like one or two episodes after Tess dies, but like because they go when they're going camping or they're going to sleep and like Ellie goes to sleep, but Joel like kind of tosses insurance, and then when Ellie wakes up, Joel is already awake. So I was like, did he actually sleep?
He just stayed up the whole time. Like, this is no big deal. I'll do both watches, and I'll do another watch after that because I don't need sleep. I could just keep walking through this snow after that too. I didn't know. I was like, how is he going to rest? Like, this it doesn't seem right. And of course it's not right because he's asleep in the next scene.
Yeah,
He promises to stay awake and sure enough breaks that promise and goes to sleep. But Ellie, this is a great scene too, because Ellie is there and she says, I did it. I took second watch. All is well. And she really wants Joel to trust her. She wants to be not just cargo and or not even just something he cares about. Even she wants to be useful. I think. Um, and so it was a great series of exchanges there. I think. So they reach the river Death. They cross a bridge. Nothing's there. They find a second river, and then before they know it, they're surrounded by people on horseback. Talk to me a little bit about this portion of the game. Like when you
so
first meet this group, what are they called?
I don't know that they have a name in the game. They're from Jackson. So it's interesting because they kind of gloss over a lot of the gameplay parts of it. So like there's a whole section in the dam like getting across.
Damn.
And I yeah, I don't necessarily remember the first time they meet. I don't think it's as not important, but like it's not as like notable as it is in the show.
Is
Because
Tommy with them in the
no,
game?
Tommy's not with them
Okay.
in the game. They get taken to the settlement in Jackson, um, and
And
that's where we
Tommy's
find Tommy again. Yeah,
okay. So it's random. It's not like Tommy might be here. It's just kind of like Tommy's there.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's been a while, so I don't quite remember.
Okay. Not important because in this situation, he tells them, I'm looking for my brother.
Yeah,
And they take him into town and he sees Tommy and they have a great reunion. Let me see, what did I say here? Uh and he said, oh, Tommy says, what are you doing here? And Joel says, I came here to save you. Like, what?
and Tommy is like in the middle of this like fortified like
Yeah.
area. There's like shops, there's like lights, there's like running water.
Tommy is living his best life. He's got married, he's got a baby on the way. He's living in this communist paradise. uh it's great. And they do I say communist paradise because they at one point they're talking about it because as they're describing how the civilization works, they have all these great stuff and everybody works together. Um, and I was like, oh, it's a democracy. Like there's a board of people that there's no leader. It's. Um, but someone says that's communism, and someone says no, and then the leader of the group, what's her
Maria,
name,
yeah,
Maria? Yeah,
yeah,
she says no. This is a commune. We are
we are
communist.
communists.
This is communist. Uh, but it's working for them to the point where they're very welcoming, but also like my way or the highway, like sort of like it, like Maria and what she does for Ellie, like sort of resetting her and
Yeah,
giving her clothes and giving her everything and doing her hair and just speaking to her with kindness, but also being kind of like, but this is how we do it. This is like this, like it's got to be this way.
yeah,
Um, I kind of got the impression that Ellie felt like it could lead to something like where Ellie's doesn't like it because they're trying to make her into what they think a young lady should be, and that's not what Ellie is.
Yeah. So like eh, from the show, like we kind of find out that like this society is this way because um they've instituted these specific rules like the river of death are people who may have tried to take Jackson at some point, and so like they they're sending a warning to anyone else who might want to take uh their their commune, I guess. um so they end up taking Joel and Ellie's guns, um probably because they don't want strange people to have guns in their safe neighborhoods.
Yep.
um yeah.
um, what happens next? So Tommy tells about how he got there, and basically it broke down to uh, he was able to stay, but all they asked is that he followed the rules, and he's a changed man because of it and everything. They're afraid the wrong people will show up. Tommy's going to be a father. This all happens in this section. Um, and he and Joel kind of butt heads, and Tommy's like, just because your life stopped, or just because life stopped for you doesn't mean it has to stop for me. Joel goes outside and it's Christmas time, which was great. Like we hear some carolers and we see a tree, and it's interesting to register something so familiar from from what we take for granted almost. Like, do
Yeah.
you think they had a tree up in Boston or in Kansas
Oh,
City now?
they
Not in
they
Kansas.
may have had Charlie Brown's Christmas tree up, but like not a
Oh.
full Christmas tree.
Joel sees the ghost of Sarah and has another little panic attack. Um, And in the next scene, Ellie finds out about Sarah. She hadn't known before that, right? That Joel was a father.
No, because pretty early on, Joel like is like, we're not sharing any kind of personal details with each other. So I imagine that Joel's definitely not going to bring up Sarah like to Ellie. That's
Yeah,
and like
right.
Cass
Like even
probably
after,
didn't. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Sorry, that's just like even after months of them bonding, and we see them in a place now where she asks questions and he answers, as opposed to before when he'd be like, be quiet or
Yeah.
like they communicate. But you're right. Like I don't think
Yeah, he
he would
would
bring
never
up
bring it up.
Sarah at
So
all.
like,
Yeah.
and I don't think Ellie would think to ask. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's a piece of information that like would only have happened here.
After that, it's movie night, and the movie is The Goodbye Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
Uh,
did you actually recognize the movie or?
I didn't. They only show the screen of the movie for 10 seconds maybe,
Yeah.
but you hear dialogue continuing from the screen. I could tell it was Richard Dreyfuss, and I was like, "Oh, is this Close Encounters?" Because he's not on a boat. Um, and it was clearly like late 70s, early 80s, Richard Dreyfuss. But then he says his character's name, and I just Googled that, and The Goodbye Girl came up. I've not seen this. Uh, but what is The Goodbye Girl about? What about? And how does it relate to what we're watching now? So this is on Internet Movie Database. I'm just going to read it real quick. After being dumped by her live-in boyfriend, unemployed dancer Paula and her 10-year-old daughter Lucy are forced to live with a struggling off-Broadway actor who's uh who who is subletting their apartment. Um uh so how does that relate to the story that's going on here? I guess people coming together, people being forced to live together. It doesn't say
Possibly,
anything about
yeah.
him killing the daughter to scare people away. Although maybe
I
that's the
mean, we haven't seen the
goodbye.
movie. You haven't
Yeah,
seen the
we haven't
movie.
seen it. So yeah, so
Could
uh
happen. Who
it
knows?
could, yeah, it could happen in the second scene. It could happen like right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, why not? Like maybe we should we write the Goodbye Girl too about
I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like yes. That
murderous subletters? That is what the world has been clamoring for. Let's move on. All right, Joel tells Tommy about the immunity, which like up until this point he was even lying to Tommy about it. Like he wasn't
Yeah,
saying what their mission was. Like he didn't even trust his brother at that point.
yeah. At first, like he says that Ellie is like some Firefly's like Bigwig's like daughter, which is I think
Yeah,
what he thought initially when they first met Ellie. So yeah, he's keeping up the lie because um, I don't know. For me, it seemed like he didn't know what to make of the situation in Jackson. Like, is this okay? Like, are
sure.
we gonna have to like fight our way out of here?
Yeah,
Maybe not that, but like he doesn't know enough about the situation to like fully trust like telling Tommy the truth. But like
yeah.
eventually he does.
Did you say fight our way out of here or bite our way out of here?
I mean, one or
God,
the
could you
other.
imagine? Yeah, in this world, it's the same. Fighting, biting goes along with fighting. They go hand in hand. He tells Tommy, and Tommy says, "It's tell me from the beginning." And so we get it. I thought they would just cut to another scene and then cut back to Tommy in the next scene, and he'd be like, "Wow, that's pretty heavy." But Joel does sort of tell a broken version of the story, and um, this is where he has his breakdown, and it really is a great performance in this scene. Um, really vulnerable. He talks about about losing a step. He's gotten weak. He's gotten old.
Yeah,
He's afraid that he can't continue this mission, or he's afraid he'll fail. Oh, he says he says he has dreams, and when he wakes up, he doesn't remember what the dreams are about. He just has the feeling that he's failed. So he's even failing in his sleep,
yeah.
which
And
is
and earlier on, like when Joel falls asleep during his second watch, like Ellie's like, you still mumble in your sleep. So he's been having these dreams for a while, long enough where Ellie recognizes that like, yeah, he's dreaming about something. It's not great.
is Joel haunted like this in the game?
Um, I think he is haunted, not necessarily. I feel like um, and I don't remember if he has a similar discussion with Tommy. There's certainly some talk about like Ellie and their mission or whatever. I don't remember if there is a talk about him being a constant failure. Although it seems like that might be the case. I just not remembering the specific scenes of the game.
This is this is completely crazy, but do they sleep in the game? Do you have to schedule sleep? Do your characters get tired and you need to stop and rest?
No, so they like with the amount of action that is in the game, like in some stretches, like they have like amazing stamina. Like
It's insane.
they can run as long as they want, like they can fight as long as they want, and like
So what you're
they never,
saying is, go ahead, sorry.
yeah, they never lose the step, they never lose their breath. Like they're like trained athletes at this point.
In other words, Joel could walk all day long and then take both shifts, both watches, and then without sleep, just continue walking.
I mean, sure. I mean, there
Uh,
are like things in the game where like you don't control them, so like they sleep. They probably sleep then.
probably.
Probably.
Just a little aside, my daughter and my son and I are playing Hogwarts Legacy, and it's basically like you do missions, and you have the missions pile up, so you're going everywhere. This has happened more than a few times, but like you'll go to one and it's not the right time of day to do the mission, and they'll be like, "Do you want to wait?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll just wait." And your character lays down on the ground, and then it changes, and you get up, like the person standing there that you're supposed to talk to, and you have been asleep on the ground, and you just get up, and my kids and I are howling, just laughing. it's the it's the craziest thing, and like we said to each other, like she's been at Hogwarts for like a week, and I don't think she's been back to her room once.
When does she eat?
When
When
does
does she
she? Yeah,
sleep?
this girl does not. There's never a a mission that says go to the bathroom. This kid does not go to the bathroom.
Well, if you're not eating, then you don't need to go to the bathroom. I think, right? Is
Yeah,
that
or
that's
brush your
how biology
teeth,
works?
or yeah. No, that's completely um a big part. I'll stop with the Hogwarts Legacy after this, but a big part of it is changing. You can put on different cloaks and different wizard hats or whatever. Can you change the outfits in The Last of Us?
Yes and no. You can like there are different like skins throughout the game, like but they change like the first time through, it basically changes like when you go like to like when you change scenes or whatever or different sections of the game, you're wearing something else. But like actually, like I mentioned like a few episodes back, like Joel and Ellie get their iconic looks, but like they're like so later on, Ellie gets a kind of like I would call it a winter's jacket, but like it's like that like kind of like purplish bluish kind of deal, like
Okay.
um and that she wears that in the game as well. But like you don't wear that, you can't change into that like earlier on, like you get that like at a certain point and then like it just changes. But like after you complete the game there are different skins, so like you can run through the game again but wearing that winter coat all throughout the game.
Can you run through the game as the T-800 or Rambo? Because I think Rambo would have no problem with this world. All right, so Joel has this breakdown, very cool scene, the long and short of it is Tommy picks up Warrant right away. Tommy's like, "Oh, you want me to finish this mission for you?" And I didn't think he'd do it because Joel had asked Tommy to come along earlier, and Tommy's like, "No, I'm the
Yeah,
Communist Party really sick their teeth into me."
their baby on the way.
Yeah.
He's coming up with
But
all kinds of excuses.
so I was surprised, but he does agree to do it. Um, and Ellie catches on, and Joel recognizes that she catches on, and she's mad at him. And they have it out. If you're gonna ditch me, then just ditch me, she says. Um, and this is a real like Act 2 low point for them. Like I felt like if this was a movie, this would be the like right after this would be the part where they have to rally together and it'll lead to the climax
Yeah.
of the movie. It felt like the lowest they'd ever been, but it gets worse. But not for them personally, because then like Joel has like a change of heart, or like I mean, he just feels
Yeah.
bad.
Well, it's interesting because in this part of the game, like uh Ellie actually runs away. Like she leaves Jackson on a horse
Oh, is that right?
on Shimmer, I think, actually. Shimmer's the horse that like she talks to in like in that one of those scenes. So they have to go find her. And like that the scene where she says, everyone either leaves me or dies, except even you. Like that happens like after they find her in like some house, like like a, kind of like I mean it's a pretty decent horse ride away. 'Cause,
Down. Night, night. Lay down. Lay down. Sorry. Continue your thought.
but no, like you have to go and chase Ellie to find her. Um, so it's interesting. Like they obviously took that part out. I
Yeah.
don't know, but that I miss it so much. Other than like it could be an action scene, but it's it's not really necessary.
Would say the only thing is that it does seem very quick that they jump, that they flip flop. Like Joel comes in and is like, what is he? What are the words? You deserve a choice, and she's like, "Let's go." Like that's how quick she turns around. So that's the only problem. But like, it's true. They need Joel's self doubt. They need Ellie's anger at him, and that, like you said, Ellie's saying about how she's left alone, and everyone that she knows or everyone she gets close to dies. Like they need those two. They need those things to happen. We don't need a scavenger hunt to find Ellie. So it's good. They head off. They get shooting practice. Ellie gets guns and booze in this episode. It's a big time for Ellie.
Well, it's interesting because like in the Pittsburgh section of the game, which is now Kansas City in the show, like the first time I remember Ellie getting a gun is in Pittsburgh actually, and it's because Joel gives her a rifle and he needs her to cover him as he like sneaks around. Um, so like that part is not in the show, but it like the whole like thing with the sniper rifle. I don't think they do target practice like that in the game, but like he trusts her with a gun in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
um, to watch after him at that point. So like it's a little bit different here.
It made for a really great scene here. I feel like we see the most fatherly side of Joel that we've seen in a while. Almost since his daughter died.
Yeah.
But, no, but like he's a little bit jokey and he's kind of, he's it's very cool. All right, so they go to the university. What are they're looking for the people that he's supposed to deliver Ellie to, right? That's what's
Yeah,
supposed to be there.
they're looking for fireflies,
Firefly. Okay.
not the firefly people, not the bugs, and not the bug human hybrids.
No, please calm down. No. Come on, sit down. No, come on. I'm sorry. They arrive at the university. They're looking for their fireflies. It's important as they go there. Joel mentions that he wants to be a singer, and I know this is something you had called out in one of our older episodes, I think, as it being a huge thing for Joel. Like, or that comes back at least, right?
Yeah, there is, and it so like a lot of that happens in the second game.
No spoilers,
So I won't talk about it. There is a
but
specific song though that like uh because of the shifting timelines of the game and the show are like it's
right.
completely anachronistic. Like it doesn't make sense anymore in the show because like it would not have happened.
Unless that artist was still alive and still producing music.
Possibly, yeah.
No way. There's no way. Seattle went first. Uh, all right, they get there, and what do they see there?
They see
Monkeys.
monkeys.
And what's the first thing I thought of when I saw the monkeys?
The monkeys from Outbreak?
No, that's a good one, though.
Yeah. What did you think of?
I instantly heard the organ music from 12 Monkeys
Okay. All
from the
right.
from the movie 12 Monkeys. I love 12 Monkeys, the movie, and as soon as I saw those monkeys, I was like, oh, this is not good. Anytime you see monkeys running around outside, it's not okay.
And I think they definitely play up that in both the show and the game. Um, like they're just monkeys are like hanging out. And I think in the game you find out that they were like experimented on in the
Sure.
university. Like there are
Yeah.
cages and things like that are open. So just roaming out wild.
They were set free before the escape of the people that work there.
Yeah.
Um, it occurred to me though that like aren't they susceptible to the infection too?
I mean, it probably would be. I don't know that we ever see anything infected other than people in the
So
game.
even in the second game, I know I said no spoilers, but I'm willing to bend the rules here. Are there any animals that get infected in the second game?
I don't, not animals per se. There is one thing that I don't know what it is.
Is it? Oh, no
Yeah,
spoilers.
no spoilers.
Um, it seems so strange because like you feel like there's got to be a dog that you see that's you know a fungi dog,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I don't know. What's the body temperature of a dog?
Well, I mean, it could just be that um, like how the fungus like can infect ants, but it doesn't infect other insects. It like this fungus only infects humans and hasn't mutated enough to um infect anything other than humans.
Okay.
So,
All right. You know what? I need to hear Big Head and the brother from the Mummy talk about this a little bit more. Uh,
oh, one thing
there's no
about
way they're
that
live though.
early scene that we like I did not know because I have not seen these movies, but that third guy is in the Twilight movies.
Shut up, really?
Apparently,
But who is he? Is he
I
just
don't
like the
know.
sheriff?
I have no idea.
All
I've never watched any of those movies. The
right,
closest I
I'll
ever
look.
watched, the closest I ever got to watching a Twilight movie was I was in a restaurant and they had the TVs on, and I was like, "Is that Twilight?" And it was, and that's the closest I ever got to watching.
And you ask the waitress to turn the sound down. They explore the university a little bit, and they enough to the point where they find out that no one's there, and there's a packing list. Is that what it was that they found?
Yeah,
What they called it? And then they hear noises. It turns out to be more monkeys. This I can't believe they jammed so much into this show, and but like so much of this section was just like, what's that? it's monkeys. Eventually, it's what's that? And it's people.
Other
They look
people,
down
yeah.
and they see people coming back. Now, Detective Joel had clocked a symbol on the sign. Was that a symbol left by Tommy and his people, or was that a symbol left by these people,
Well, so I think
or
the
was it a
symbol you're
firefly
referring to,
symbol?
it's a firefly symbol. So like it was the fireflies
Okay, so
that were
that was
there.
a good symbol. He wasn't like, "Uh-oh, trouble." He was like,
Yeah,
"Yes, we're headed in the right direction." Okay.
that hobo sign says we're going the right direction.
um, oh, gotta stop saying So, they go downstairs and they get jumped by one of the guys.
One
Um,
of the guys with a bat,
uh,
I think.
they get jumped by a guy with a bat. There's a struggle. They fight. Joel breaks his neck,
Yes, kills him.
kills him, and then he looks at Ellie, and Ellie looks at him like, the fuck? And look down, and he's got a broken part of a bat
Yeah, in his side.
in his side. Does he pull it out?
He does pull
Or,
it out. I
ooh,
will
that feels like,
say it's that's the bad move. Like if you ever get something impaled in you, like do not pull it out because that you just make it. You're just doing more damage.
yeah, you're opening
Um,
it up to the air. Now the blood runs out and the spores run in.
so I will say in this part of the game, like there's obviously like a more protracted fight, you fight more guys. That's just kind of like how it is between the show and the game. Joel's injury so much worse in the game,
Really?
so much worse. So in the game, as I recall it, there's kind of you struggle actually in the university, like, and you're kind of like on the second floor or something, and like I think they struggle, and Joel falls over over the ledge and gets impaled
Oh,
on his side.
wait.
Uh,
What does he get impaled on? Is it a monkey? Does he fall a full flight and land on a monkey?
I don't think so.
No.
It might have been a metal monkey because it was metal that was coming out of him, I
Oh,
believe.
okay. This is a
Um,
university. They could have been cyborg monkeys. No one knows. But
could have been robot monkeys too.
robot monkeys, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I think Ellie has to pull him off the thing so they can
God.
get to their horse
Oh
and
my
ride away.
God.
So much worse.
So
So
much
much worse.
worse. So much worse. Ellie thinks fast, gets him on the horse. They're being chased, but she rides off and is able to ride away, and they're okay. Joel is on the ground, and she's pleading with him to not be dying. And she says, "I can't do this without you." And that's how the episode ends. Chilling ending. Part of me was like, "Oh, does this end with him seeing that he's been stuck? Like, is that a good place to end it? Like smash cut and uh
Yeah,
like a Smash Mouth song, somebody." No, but they have this extra bit where we get to see the emotion from Ellie, and we get to register that Joel did fail, just like he was afraid he would. I mean,
yeah,
she's not dead, but
yeah.
like,
He's not in great shape.
yeah, yeah, he he succeeded in. Oh wait, no, he didn't get her to where she needed to go. He's a real screw up, but it's a good way to end the episode. But part of me was like, oh, should it have ended at the shock of him getting stabbed? Because that's a real moment.
Well, I think like, and this has kind of come up a few times as we've been doing this rewatch,
Yeah.
like where we're like, oh, here's what the episode ends, and then no, there's like more. Like
Yeah.
the first time, like I mentioned it was the episode where Tess dies. So like after they get out of the museum, like oh, end of the episode, but no, there's more. And then like we were talking about in our last recording with Henry and Sam, like oh they just they've gotten out of Kansas City, like oh let's all travel together to wherever, and no there's another scene, there's another section there,
Ugh.
and
I
now
wish that
this
had
one.
ended before they all murdered. They all died. But that brings us to the end of the episode. I have a few questions for you, but before we do that, what did you think of this episode overall?
I think it was good. I really like the fact that Joel was like, I came to save you, and Tommy's like, for what? I am doing great here.
Everything's A-OK.
There are a few. There is at least one Easter egg for the second game. Uh,
Oh, is it that girl?
it is the girl, yeah,
All right, so this was talked about a lot because I would listen to podcasts about the show when I was watching it, and people talked a lot about this girl in the cafeteria that sort of looks around a
yeah,
corner, who's fascinated by Ellie. Um, and Maria basically explains it away as you're unlike any other child they've ever seen before. No one talks like you. They don't talk like you or whatever, carry guns.
yeah,
So she's just curious. But it's rumored that this is, at the time, people were saying, is this so and so?
yeah.
You
I
take it
mean,
away.
so it could be a character that plays a prominent role in the second game. She like just the short glimpse that you get of her like in this episode, like she looks enough like that character that it could be that character.
But they've
Um,
cast like somebody else in that part, right?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
haven't really been keeping up with who they've cast, so
Okay. All right. No spoilers.
no spoilers.
No spoilers. All right. Great. Really good episode. I agree. Yeah. I mean, they like this is a great season. It's a great season of TV. The end, except for the next week,
Yeah, we got a few more
and the
episodes.
few more episodes after that. So, what was the most video game moment of this episode?
Hmm. I guess I would have to say I don't know. I like maybe I will save this commentary for a later episode, but I think the search through the university is probably the most video game part for me because he's like they're looking for clues, trying to figure out where they're going. The whole thing with the monkeys is straight from the game.
That's fun.
So yeah, I would say that part.
Great. On Window Watch this week, I didn't really spot any significant windows. I guess they do see the bad guys coming by looking out a
Yeah.
window, but it wasn't as significant as I would hope a real window moment would be. But don't fear not. Window Watch will continue. Window Watch is strong. My last question for you is, how would you like to die? And I have three options for you this week,
Okay.
which was tricky because there's not a lot of deaths in this episode. A lot of this
That one a lot.
is there's a lot of communist peace in this episode. um, so my first one, I was desperate. I said, rabbit trap? Would you want to get caught in a rabbit trap? That's your number one. Number two, do you want to be shivved with a baseball bat at college? So think about it. You're at college, you're partying, or maybe
Just a
you just got
usual
out of,
Saturday night.
yeah, you just got out of your math class. You're on your way to Spanish, and boom, shivved with a, and you're like, what is this? And someone says to you, it's part of a bat, and you're like, what? Actually, that's number two. Number three, get your neck broken by Pedro Pascal. And before you answer, it's Pedro Pascal, beefy, handsome, beautiful Pedro Pascal, and he's holding you,
I mean,
cradling you. It's at least 10 to 15 seconds of real hug from Pedro Pascal.
I think that's no contest then. Like,
It's not even
um,
close.
you get to feel the warm embrace of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
You get to
the
smell
tickle
his
of his
musk.
mustache against the back of your neck.
I may die, but I will die a contented man.
Yeah, break that neck, Pedro Pascal. Just hold me a minute longer. Um, that's all I've got for this episode, but really fun episode. Shall we look to the future a little bit?
Sure. I like I know what episode is coming up next. And like I don't know. I definitely have thoughts about like this next episode where it is versus what happens in the game.
Is that right?
Um,
So you're implying that it happens at a different time in the game.
so yeah. So spoilers for the and this isn't really spoilers for the game or the show, but like so this next episode was actually downloadable content for the game, so it was not initially
Is that
in
right?
the game.
Fascinating. Wouldn't it be great if there was an episode next season that's like not even gameplay? It's just like one of the comics that Ellie reads.
I mean, it could be.
He's so
I
great,
think
right?
there are Last of Us comics,
Okay.
but yeah.
Did you play? Well, I'll ask you next week about the downloadable content stuff, but basically, this episode's called Left Behind. It is all flashback, or
It's majority of flashback, I believe.
is this the one where Ellie drags him into like a suburban town and they have to hide out, and Joel's unconscious the whole time?
Yes, yeah.
And someone's like, "Is he in there?" And they're looking at a trail of blood and a dead horse.
That happens later, but
That's later. Gotcha. Okay. All right. You know what else happens later? Our next episode.
yes.
Bye, everyone.
Wait, no!
Oh
You
no,
got,
I forgot. I forgot
you
my
forgot.
donut
Look at
today.
this donut, though. Look at this
That's really
thing.
good.
It is
That's like,
huge. It's like a
oh my
mask.
God,
It's like Henry's mask or Sam's mask.
bro. No, I was thinking you looked like the clickers, like
Oh, my
beautiful.
head exploded into a donut.
Exactly.
I
Oh my
mean,
God,
that's
that world. That's a
I would
world I wouldn't
go
mind.
I would go that way every time if that was an option. Like to have my head explode into like a donut.
Or be
Like I would.
attacked by a donut person.
I mean, that would just be delicious.
People be
This thing is
watching that and they'd
huge.
be like, "The donut man's biting him, and he's biting him back."
Um,
Delicious.
this was one of the manager specials donuts. Um,
It looks good.
and yeah,
So
so
like a glazed donut.
it's like a glaze. Like I don't know what the actual
What are those
description is,
called?
but
Is that
it's
like a
huge.
finger cuff? What is it? It's a.
It is almost a. It's like about the size of a soft pretzel.
It's crazy.
Um,
Yeah. Wait. Oh my God. Is that a glazed soft pretzel? Like, are there little bits of salt on there, bro? If that's not what it is, should we make that?
I think that they have that at the Philly Pretzel Factory.
Do they
They might have.
really?
I don't know. They definitely have icing that you can put on the pretzels.
Ugh,
They might
that's
have that at like Auntie Anne's also. But I'm gonna
oh my
take a bite of
God.
this monstrosity.
How was it?
It's not the freshest donut I had.
It's only good for another 2 hours, so you have to finish it tonight.
It's a little dry, I
So
will
that'll
say.
mean crazy dreams for you, I'm sure.
But we will see you guys for the next episode.